definitely going to be one of the top teams out in the West. I think right now it's tough with Kevin Durant getting hurt, but Oklahoma City is obviously that other team that you're looking at as one of the other top 3 teams in the West. Hopefully he won't miss too much time, and Westbrook can kind of keep him while he's out. But, I mean, anytime you have 2 players as good as Durant and Westbrook, and then some solid role players too, they're going to challenge as well. So the West is wide open, though. If you look, there's so many good teams. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't necessarily know if they would beat the Spurs that's thrown them, but even looking at teams like Memphis and Dallas, and there's just so much talent in the Western Conference this year, and it's going to be so fun. One really, really good team is going to get left out of the playoffs, and it might just come down to who suffers the most injuries. Like last year, Grizzlies almost missed the playoffs. The Suns and Dallas and Grizzlies were kind of there fighting for the last 2 spots, and because Marc Gasol missed half the season. So something like that, it could pretty much health, I think, is probably going to be the determining factor in who makes it in the West.
We're here on the Bob Sullivan Show here on LateNightSportsRadio.com talking to Jacob Padilla. Jacob, looking at the Mavs, you know, I picked them to upset the Spurs last year in the first round. It almost came true. There were, a couple plays here and there from actually upsetting the Spurs, and they were the closest team in the West to doing that. The addition of bringing back Tyson Chandler, Charlie Villanueva, Richard Jefferson, Chandler Parsons, Ray Felton. I feel like, this is a better team, obviously, than last year. But do you think those additions, where do you think that just leaves them kind of in the bottom half of the top 8 in the West, or do you think that moves them up to the top 4?
Yeah, I don't think I'm necessarily ready to put them in that top 4, but like I said, after those top 3, I think it's going to any combination of 4 through 9, I think wouldn't surprise me at all. And they've definitely got a chance to go up for home court in the first round. But I think, one, it'll come down to what Tyson Chandler are we getting. He was a shell of himself with the Knicks last year. And part of that was because the Knicks were a mess, and obviously he wasn't going to kill himself for that team or whatever. But if he can get back to not even necessarily where he was when they won the championship a few years ago, but somewhere close to that, that'll make a huge difference over last year. And Parsons, it'll be interesting to see what he brings. They lost Vince Carter, who was actually, a lot of people probably don't realize it, but he was really good for them. As a Suns fan, it's kind of frustrating because he, when the Suns picked him up a few years ago, he kind of didn't necessarily go all out, and there were some nights where he obviously wasn't bringing his best, and once he hit 20,000 points, he kind of seemed to shut it down. But once he got to Dallas, he was kind of reinvigorated, really reinvented his game to be a really good shooter and a really good complementary player. So that's a big loss, but Parsons, I think, can help make up for that. And again, they lost Sean Marion too, so there's some shuffling. It's not like they're bringing the whole team back and just upgraded a spot or two. They'll be a little bit different this year. I'm not expecting much out of Jameer Nelson, or Ray Felton, rather. Jameer Nelson, I think he's a pretty good pickup for them to kind of step into that Jose Calderon role as sharpshooter, play some minutes at the point. And Devin Harris, he kind of had a really good year for them too. So that's a solid rotation at the point, especially the way they. I'm not the biggest Monte Ellis fan in the world. I'm a guy who really values efficiency with my basketball players, and Monte's been far from efficient throughout his career, but they really seem to kind of harness what he does well and gave him the opportunity to kind of just play his game without kind of detracting from the way everybody else plays. And so that's going to need to continue. And obviously Dirk Nowitzki is just incredible. And if he can replicate what he did last year, they'll definitely be right there in the mix again.
I think one thing that is good for Monte Ellis being in Dallas is, his whole career he's been with another guard like Steph Curry or Brandon Jennings, and it always feels like he's trying to compete against them, where it's like, okay, I gotta, show that I'm the best guard on this team. There's not that threat with Dallas. There's not going to be a point guard or another guard out there that's going to really give him a run for his money being the best guard. So it kind of seems like he relaxed a little more, and it took, self-imposed pressure off of himself last year, and it seemed to pay off.
And Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the NBA as well, and that certainly helps. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that never hurts. Looking at the, the Spurs, two long playoff runs the last 2 years. They've never repeated. The GM seem to think they're going to repeat. Do you think that's possible? Obviously it's possible, but do you think that's going to happen? And if it doesn't, what do you think, other than injuries, what do you think is going to hinder them from doing that?
Yeah, it's always tough to pick a repeat, especially with as competitive as the league seems to be right now with so many good teams. But the way the Spurs played last year, they were just on another level than anybody else in the league. The ball movement, the shot selection, the defense as a team, they were just, there was nobody that was even close to them. And I mean, LeBron did everything he could, but even having the best player in the game, that was, you're not going to beat a team as complete as the Spurs with one guy. And I definitely think they'll get pushed. The Thunder obviously gave them problems last year when Ibaka was healthy, and that was a competitive series. And if the Clippers can kind of get some things to go their way, they've got the talent to push the Spurs. And then in the East, I'm not sure what to think about with the Cavs yet. I don't know how quickly they can put together. Obviously, Miami, they made to the finals, but they kind of Dallas took care of them. They needed that year to kind of figure out what they need to do. So we might have that kind of same situation in Cleveland where they're not quite ready to win it this year. But if things go well for the Bulls, that they might be the toughest competitor for the Spurs this year. Rose is even 85% of what he was last year, and everybody else can kind of do their thing. That's going to be a tough team for anybody to play against. With Noah and Gibson and Powell, I mean, you got shooters like McDermott now they just drafted, and if Rose can kind of get back out there, stay healthy, and play all year long, they're going to be tough to play against. But I think it would be wrong to pick anybody but the Spurs where we're standing right now.
We're going to go ahead and take our first break here on the Bob Sullivan Show. When we come back, we will talk more about the NBA and just a little college basketball here on LateNightSportsRadio.com.
Let it start and you this crowd of emotions stumbling all around my heart. It must mean that you're near me, 'cause I can breathe you like you start. I'd give you everything, I'd take you anywhere you'd ever want to go. Just tell me what it takes to make you mine. 'Cause all this time I've been waiting my life to feel, baby, you love this you. But while my past keeps on fading, say that you're here to stay, baby, don't have to take what's left from me. I feel this flood all around me, I'm drifting through a whole new life, where all I want is to have you, and you're my reason why. I'd give you everything, I'd take you anywhere you'd ever want to go. Just tell me what it takes to make you mine. 'Cause all this time I've been waiting my life to feel, baby, you love is real. Though all my past keeps on fading, say that you're here to stay, baby, don't ever take what's left from me. All this time I've been waiting my life to feel, baby, you love is real. But while my past keeps on fading, say that you're here to stay, baby, don't ever take what's left from me. I can breathe you like you start. 'Cause all this time I've been waiting my life to feel, baby, you love is real.